So 2024 major developments today in former President Donald Trump's legal battles in New York. On the civil side, he got a reprieve in the nearly $500 million bond that was due. But he was also dealt a blow during a hearing for his criminal hush money trial. Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joining us live with the latest on Trump's legal woes. Julia, good evening to you.
Good evening from Washington. Well, former President Donald Trump's personal, political, and legal worlds collided today with new developments in two of the cases that he's facing. He now has more time to pay a reduced bond in that New York civil fraud case, but his request for another delay in the criminal case involving hush money payments was denied.
In a New York civil fraud trial, former President Donald Trump was given more time to post a massive bond while he appeals the ruling. The appeals court gave the former president 10 more days to come up with the money and cut the amount necessary to $175 million.
We have no guarantees of it, but it seems like it's a number that's reachable for him.
That decision gives Trump a major lifeline as he was facing a Monday deadline to secure a bond for the full $464 million judgment.
It will be my honor to post, and we'll post whatever is necessary, whether it be cash or security or bonds.
Meanwhile, in a separate criminal case, a judge dismissed the former president's motion to delay the trial further. Jury selection in Trump's first criminal trial is now expected to start April 15th. This trial is related to Trump's alleged efforts to falsify business documents related to hush money payments made to cover up an alleged affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump has pleaded not guilty and has denied the affair.
This is a witch hunt, it's a hoax.
This could potentially be the only one of the 4 criminal trials the former president is facing that would occur before the November election. In total, the former president faces 88 criminal charges across 4 indictments.
Now, these new developments take place as Trump prepares for the general election. So far, his legal issues haven't seemed to hurt him with his base, but it's unclear how these regular court appearances could impact him as he takes on President Joe Biden in November. That's when he's going to need to appeal to moderate and independent voters. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, WISH TV.